Hey guys, welcome back to Stuff Steve Likes, and welcome to the channel. And this is my channel where I talk about stuff that I like. I talk about knives, I talk about watches, music gear, electronics, kind of whatever floats my boat at that particular time. I'm kind of a hobbyist that's into all sorts of stuff, and so I have a channel where you never know what's going to be on the channel. I've got a lot of older videos that have a lot of knives. I've had more recent stuff with some music gear, with some watches, and right now we're just knocking out a bunch of watch videos and earbud videos and everything else. So thanks for stopping by. If you like the content, like and subscribe. You certainly don't have to. I just do this for fun, but I would definitely appreciate it. And if you got any questions or comments, comment down below, and I try to respond to everybody because I usually don't get a lot of views, but if you have a question or anything, let me know and I'll definitely hit you up. I just wanted to talk quickly today about this beast, this absolute beast of a watch. This is the beast of all beasts when it comes to Casio G-Shocks. This is the GWG1000. There have been lots of great videos on this. My favorite channel, or one of my favorite channels, Watch Geek, did an amazing function video on this where he goes through all of the functions and all the details on it, and there's no way to top that. I would just say go over to Watch Geek and watch his if you have any questions about how all the details of this watch work. What I like to do here is just kind of talk to you about my impressions of a watch, how it makes me feel, what I enjoy about it, what I don't. And so yeah, I'm just usually going off kind of the vibe that things give me. And the vibe that this thing gives me is that it is just a cool watch. It is a great survival watch. It's a great camping watch. It's a great hiking watch. It's a great work watch, just every day. It has some great features that pretty much anybody can benefit from. It's a triple sensor, meaning that it has an altimeter and barometer, which those two are tied together. It has a compass and it has a thermometer. So those are the triple sensors. And they all work really well. This watch does exactly what it says it will do. When the compass points north, it's actually pointing north. When it's getting a barometer reading that says that the barometer is going up, it's correct. It does its job and it does it well. The width here is over 50 millimeters. This is a Haas of a watch. Thickness is about 20 millimeters. Those are not exact figures there, but it is quite large. It has a sapphire crystal, one of the few G-Shocks with a sapphire crystal, which, not a big deal to me, but it's great that it has it. I do have a bunch of watches that have sapphire crystals, and it is nice to just know that something's not going to get scratched if you bang it on a rock or hit it on something. So, and it's a tough solar watch, and it's atomic, meaning that it's charged by light, so you don't have to worry about changing the battery. Now, eventually all batteries, even these rechargeable ones, go out, but considering you can pick up a battery for fairly cheap, even these rechargeable ones are I think under 20 bucks. You can get 10 to 15 years out of this battery in here and then change it. But the solar is definitely nice. The atomic timekeeping is nice. It does update to the Colorado atomic clock. Now, it does not do it every night. Anybody that has an atomic watch knows that it doesn't always hear the radio waves. So it won't work every night, but it does update at least a few days out of the week. And honestly, these Casios are so accurate that even if you don't update it for a month, you're still well within a few seconds. So those are two nice features. I'll show you the back of the watch here. So there's the back of it. So it's multi-band 6. G-Shock, shock absorbing structure. And this shows what your buttons are down here. So display, mode, light, altimeter, compass. There it says Tough Solar. And just a nice back plate on the watch. It has these little bumpers here. And so you can see, even though this is a large watch, these bumpers come down basically immediately. Look at that. Forgive my dogs freaking out there. I'm sure somebody's at the door. So these come down and it really hugs your wrist. So even with a small wrist, you can see how it's really not any bigger than the face of the watch. So many times, you know, watches will come down and they'll come down like this and then start their swoop around here. But this comes right down, and these bumpers really make it comfortable. Let's look at the face of the watch here. So you've got your 12, 3, 6, and 9, which are all loomed, and actually loomed pretty well. Nice loom on the hands. And these are all of your functions: barometer, temperature, receive, stopwatch, timer, alarm, world time. Or excuse me, that's record. That's receive is over here. Receive is basically, it tells you when the last time it received the atomic update. Record actually allows you to record things like temperature, barometer readings, and so forth, which is a nice feature if you're hiking or something like that and you want to keep track. This is your screen down here. It does have a backlight on it. And it also lights up the face of the watch. So you can see there's a backlight, and it has an LED to light up the actual hands of the watch, the face of the watch. It has this really nice shiny edge to it. And when you're setting your world time, you're setting your time zone, these are actually all the different time zones. You can see Chicago, NYC, so forth there. Flat sapphire crystal. You've got your buttons. So this is your mode indicator. And let's go through them and see how it moves like that. And look at this. Look at the minute hand. How when you go to something that's going to read out here, it moves out of the way. I'm going to go back to barometer. Check it out. Okay, so it goes back. And watch, I'm going to hit barometer, and because the barometer reads out down here, this hand will just momentarily move out of the way. You can read it, and then it moves right back. Okay, and it has a quick return to timekeeping function. So say you're on temperature, you want to go back to home timekeeping, but you don't want to have to click through all these. You can just click and hold, and it goes right back. Gives you the double beep, and goes right back to original timekeeping mode. Now if you look at this screen, it's actually got the barometer reading and then the date. You can change it by hitting this one. Now you're reading digital time. There's your, so Monday the 24th. So there's your day and date, and then you're back to the barometer reading. Now the barometer basically is shown here. So it goes up or down on that little graph, and then it shows you the actual. You can do the lead reading or the Pascal reading. So there's two different ways that you can read the barometer. Hectopascals, I believe, is what they're called. So so there's two different ways that you can read it, and both are valid. I can't remember which one is used more in Europe, one is used more in the US, and I can't remember which one is which. Doesn't really matter. I just look at the up and down trending on it. Okay, so go back to home time. And then if you want to do the compass, here's the compass. And north is going to be right. Yep, it's perfectly pointing north. Yep, north is that way, which is right on the money. If I turn it here, it's going to move. Yep, so compass works really well. Okay, and I think it stays on for a minute, so there I reset it, and it'll go back, and then there we go. Alright, so that works. There we go. If you want to go back to home timekeeping, you just hit over here again. Here's the altimeter. This will show you in feet, and you can do either feet or meters on this. There we go. And as you see, that this moved out of the way as well. The seconds hand always moves out of the way. All right, and this will, once you hit altimeter, it'll start taking readings from the barometer. See how it's kind of correcting itself there? So it's gonna, the altimeter and the barometer work hand in hand. Now they do say for this to be, really accurate, you do want to reset it each time you start a hike or you start a trip or whatever, and you want to keep track of the altitude. They say because it does read the barometer, you want to make sure all those are adjusted properly. Now you'll ask, how do you adjust it? And what you do is you use this crown over here. So this is the crown. They call it a multifunction crown. And if I go over here, you'll notice that this started blinking. And now I can move it up and down. See how it's going? 445, 450. And this crown works in any position, so or any function. So if you want to adjust the time, if you want to adjust the barometer setting, if you want to adjust the temperature setting when you're calibrating the thermometer and everything, you pull this out and you use it. And some people don't like that, but it actually works really well once you get used to using it. It's actually really easy just to be able to scroll through. So anyway, that's the multifunction crown there, and it is a screw-in crown. 200 meters water resistant. It's just such a cool watch. The Mudmaster series, I always think looks like an off-road tire, and I think that's kind of what they were going for with it, and they've definitely succeeded. And again, it's a big watch, but the way that the lugs come down like that really make it look not out of place on your wrist. And obviously, when you're wearing a G-Shock, it's going to look big. I'm just going to give you a size comparison to a couple other watches. So here's the GW1000 there, and you can see, this one is obviously smaller, but it doesn't wear that much. It doesn't wear that much differently, honestly. This one has those bumpers too, but even though this is definitely a bigger watch, it doesn't wear that much larger than this one. Okay, size comparison with Seiko Turtle. Size comparison with a Frogman. And the Frogman is another beast of a watch, but you can see the face of this one, just because of the way that this is constructed, does seem a little bit bigger. The Frogman is kind of offset over here, though, so you can see that the Frogman does wear a little bit smaller, but on the wrist, notice how these lugs turn down, and these ones kind of come out like this. See, if I lay them on their side, the Frogman actually envelops the Mudmaster. And you can see it's a little bit taller this way too. But see how the Frogman is more gradual here, because this is an actual ISO diver. This one is actually made to wear over a wetsuit. So this one comes out more, this one goes down farther. So this one actually wears a little bit tighter on the wrist. Here's Rangeman. So there's the Rangeman there. And, definitely this one's a little bit bigger, but nothing crazy. The Rangeman is still a big watch. So anyway, I mean, I could pull out every watch and show the comparison, but I'm not going to do that. But those are just a couple of really popular ones that a lot of people are familiar with. So anyway, that's the GWG1000 Mudmaster. Again, the main thing: altimeter, thermometer, barometer, compass. It just has all those excellent outdoor features, and it's self-contained. I have seen a lot of people talk about smartwatches and how, well, my smartwatch will do all that. And I understand that, but your smartwatch is reliant on other technology. That's the thing about this watch. This watch relies on no other technology. It doesn't require Bluetooth. It doesn't require anything else other than the atomic timekeeping, which is, I mean, love it or leave it, take it or leave it. I don't care. The atomic timekeeping is probably the least of my concern because they're so accurate anyway. But this is not reliant on any other technology to allow you to use the functions. It's self-contained. And I think that's the shortcoming of so many of these smartwatches and all that. And, Casio's getting into the smartwatch thing, which is fine and great. But again, those are reliant on another technology. Anytime you have something that is reliant on another technology, at some point, a few years down the road, it's going to become obsolete because they're on Bluetooth, 5 now? And at some point, they're not going to support the Bluetooth on the current watches and phones. So that technology is going to basically die and become obsolete. And then you're going to have a watch that, may have some functionality, but is not going to have all of its functionality. This watch will always have 100% of its functionality, unless they do away with the atomic clock in Colorado, which they've been talking about. But that's not really a concern of mine. I can always just set the time on it, and it keeps time within a couple seconds a month. It's not a big deal. So other than that, it's really self-contained, and just a great watch. I picked this one up used, but it's in excellent condition. New, they're a little pricey. They're around the $550 price point. I picked this one up used for $200 on Facebook Marketplace. Amazing condition, excellent watch. Really happy with the purchase. And if you want the junk hits the fan watch, this is the one. This is the one to have. There is no other G-Shock that can do what this can do, that has the sapphire crystal, that has the toughness that this one does. And all G-Shocks are tough. I love all of my G-Shocks, but if there was the one that I would keep, this is the one. This is the one. I've wanted the Frogman forever. I've wanted the Rangeman forever, and I love those watches, and I hope I never have to get rid of those. But if there's one that I'm going to keep above all, this is it. I think the GWG1000 is the one. So anyway, that's my review of it, and this is available in a few different colors. This is the all black. There's a black with the green, and there's like a desert camo and a yellow and red and all those. I think this is the one to have. This is just the standard classic all black G-Shock. So anyway, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Sorry if I rambled too much, but I appreciate you guys stopping by, and we'll see you on the next video.